One thing that almost everyone loves that I hate is Disneyland. And I'll tell you why. When I was growing up, my family never did anything Disney. Nothing Disney related, none of that stuff. So I don't have that nostalgic attachment as an adult that keeps me in the wonderful world of Disney. I only look at it objectively as an adult. And when you look at it objectively as an adult, let me tell you, Disney kind of sucks. Okay? Whether you go to the massive one in Florida or the one in Anaheim, there's always a ton of traffic, which is basically just waiting in a line in your car, which to be fair is really good practice since 80% of the rest of your day or more will be spent waiting in more motherfucking lines. You spend hours jammed in a car with your screaming kids and their mother who made you book the trip to begin with because they're only young once. Yeah, no kidding. They're so young, they're not even going to remember the trip. So whose memories are we really here for, lady? You know what I mean? Then you finally make it through the labyrinth of a dingy parking garage straight out of a slasher movie, which, by the way, you paid $20 an hour for or some crazy shit like that. And then guess what? You have to stand in line, this time waiting for a tram, which they call the Disneyland Express, which is an interesting name considering that there's nothing express about it. And that is just to take you to the park, where you will, guess what, stand in more lines to get an expensive ticket to get into the park. Oh, and the rides? Assuming you make it to the front of, you guessed it, more lines, most of them are unexciting and non-thrilling. It's not exactly an adrenaline rush. The only thing that will get your heart rate up while you're in the park is the abundance of junk food and sugar and carbs that you're going to consume. The privilege of buying $18 hot dogs and $34 turkey legs, which, surprise, surprise, you had to wait in line for. Oh, and if you want to avoid these lines as much as you possibly can, you have to pay way extra for something called a Fast Pass, which ironically, you have to wait in line to get. So, if you're like me and Disneyland isn't your thing, don't worry. It's okay. Embrace what truly brings you joy and embark on your own extraordinary journey of finding happiness away from the happiest place on earth. And now, let's go ahead and cut to some footage of me at Disneyland with my kids, because ultimately, just like every other miserable parent standing in line at Disney, I just can't say no to those little buggers. Little smiles on their faces, just too impossible to ignore. They're too cute. I'm weak. I'm sorry.